Hello guys, what is up? Welcome to another YouTube video and more. Today we're doing another action figure review. Today for you guys, I have the Planet Ron Swamp Thing action figure from DC Multiverse McFarlane. Super excited to have this one in the collection. I've wanted a Swamp Thing figure for ages now and found this one. This one has been at my local GameStop for like a little while now, so yeah, super excited to have this. And what made me finally pick it up was the fact that I had like 11,000 points or so on my GameStop membership thing, so I got like 11 bucks off, so it was only like, I think I only paid 31 bucks. So yeah, definitely finally got this guy, and without further ado, let's go ahead and open him up. Getting this guy out of the packaging. Oh my god, this looks amazing. I am so excited to have a Swamp Thing in my collection. Oh my god, you guys, look at it. It barely fits in the freaking frame. Holy moly. This guy feels amazing. Oh, I'm loving this. I gotta play with this behind the camera for a couple seconds. Okay, you guys, here is Red Planet Ron Swamp Thing right out of the packaging with everything he comes with. This guy looks so amazing. I had to like... This guy is so huge, it's knocking over my freaking set right now. But yeah, this guy is just so amazing. This guy is so cool. I'm so happy to finally have a Swamp Thing in the collection. Look at all the detail on this guy. I do think most of it is reused from the previous Swamp Thing, which is a couple of just added on layers, like the shoulder pads or the, like obviously the head sculpt is new. And then also I think this torso piece is like just a, or yeah, I think the torso is new as well. But everything else I'm pretty sure is just reuse. Or yeah, I think this torso piece with like all these space pumpkins are like an add-on on the previous torso piece. So yeah, but this guy definitely looks awesome. But with that said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off on the face, you do have a bunch of this like dry brushing all throughout the head sculpt, the torso, the shoulders, and on the legs as well, the front of the thighs. But yeah, I personally have no idea why Swamp Thing is red. I don't read the comics all too much, so I have no idea what this one is based off of. But you can see like almost these space pumpkins all over him, and then you do have his yelling expression. I don't mind that it has a yelling expression. I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, you do have the eyes in there, which look pissed off. You could see his sunken in nose. That's crazy cool. All the like vine texture and detail all throughout the figure. Yeah, more of the space pumpkins right there. You can see all the vines and all the tree and nature detail. Like even off the hands, you could see like some of these excess vines that they sculpted on, which are really cool. Same thing on this side right here. Awesome, man. And then the shoulder pads, which I think are new. You have more of these space pumpkins. That's what I'm gonna call them from now on. The diaper piece is not too like diaper-ish, I don't think. You do have more of that viney texture with the yellow dry brushing. There's not too much paint on this guy, but I don't think there needs to be too much paint on this guy. Is that a black like dry brushing over some of the parts? I think it is, like especially on like over here on his forearm. I think that's like a black dry brushing. So he's got two dry brushings, yellow and black. That's amazing. Look at these freaking fingernails. Damn. He's like my little brother. He's got to cut them. This guy's nails are freaking insane. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this figure so far. This rotator cuff up here, though, is kind of hard to move around. But, well, did I just move it? Yeah, I just moved it. Okay, never mind. But yeah, very tight. None of the joints are like loose or anything. They're all fairly tight. And then yeah, you do have the feet down here at the bottom. I love how it's like, this is like the Man Thing, but also like the Groot of the DC universe, because you have like all these tree details, and look at the feet right there. That just reminds me of Groot so much. With like the tree feet. You do have more excess vines over here. All the little details that McFarlane sculpted in on the original do carry over on here, but then you do have the extra added details with the space pumpkins. So yeah, everything looks nice, but with that said, let's go ahead and get into the articulation. This is going to be hard to film, but getting into the head, he does not look up at all because of all this, like, the little cap right here with all the space pumpkins, so he doesn't look up. Looking down, though, also pretty much nothing. He does get a full 360, though. It is on a ball joint, but you don't get too much movement up in there. The arms don't raise up to 90 because of the shoulder pads, but they do go all the way around. You do have, I was surprised to see that there is a bicep swivel in there. And you do have single jointed elbows, which also have a swivel in there. And then you do have hinge at the wrist, but it's not the typical like rotator ball joint like on this Guy Gardner over here for the wrist. It's just a simple hinge and swivel at the wrist. So that's kind of cool. They don't often do that. They did do it on Black Adam. But moving into the torso, he can get not a lot of crunch forward, but he does get some okay crunch back. You do get some nice tilt in there. And then, of course, you get all the way around. I just scratched my hand again. The legs can go up this high, which is perfect, 90 degrees. You do have a bit of twist in there at the thigh, but nothing too much. And then you have double jointed knees right here, which do look very nice. And then you do have the ankle balls that go up this high, down this low, and then you do have twist and pivot. And of course, toe articulation. And then for accessories, he does come with the tried and true DC Multiverse display base over here. One thing I must say is that even with the display base on, he is really hard to stand. But he does also come with his trading card, which you guys know that I love these. I collect these. Swamp Thing Planet Raan. Here is the little bio. That's a very small bio. And then real name Alec Holland, did not know that. I am going to quickly read this one. Swamp Thing's incredible space-based adventure continues as he arrives on Raan, desperate to find his way back home to Earth and to Abby. But first he comes to blow with Raan's champion, Adam Strange. Oh, I saw that in another video. So they did actually make Adam Strange, so maybe I'd grab him to pair along with this figure. But yeah, I do really love this artwork right here. And then for his only real accessory, he does come with 2 extra fisted hands, which is very nice and well appreciated. These are new because they did not come with any of the original releases of Swamp Thing. I know they made, I think, 3 versions, one with like horns popping out of his head, one with just the normal green version, and then one where it was a gray platinum edition. So yeah, I was scared to grab one of those because I know that on Amazon you could get, if you bought the Swamp Thing DC Multiverse, you could either get the gray one or the green one, but I don't want the stupid gray version. So I was scared to buy that and I never did. But yeah, you do have these nice fists right here, which you can swap on. This is going to be my first time trying this. I don't want to rip off any of these like excess vines, so I'm going to I'm going to do this off camera. Okay, so his right hand did come off way easier than the other one. The other one is very hard to take off. But yeah, maybe I'll heat it up later. But that does go on nice and tight. And yeah, that looks really, really cool with the rest of the figure. So yeah, now let's go ahead and get into some comparisons. So I really don't know who to compare Swamp Thing to because I don't have any other versions of Swamp Thing in my collection. So here he is just with some basic DC Multiverse Justice Leaguers. We have Hal Jordan's Green Lantern and the first appearance Batman. Here he is with a couple of live action figures. We have the Batman Begins DC Multiverse Batman and the DC Multiverse Battle Damage Superman for the new movie. Here he is with a couple of other collector's editions in the collection. We have Sabak from the Black Adam movie and Carapax from the Blue Beetle movie. And then here he is with a couple of Marvel Legends that look kind of similar to him in the same vine. Yeah, I said vine instead of vein. It's a dumb joke. Here we have him next to the Marvel Legends Man-Thing and the Marvel Legends Groot, which this guy was so hard to get off my shelf because he was in the very freaking back of my MCU collection. But overall, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. This guy is awesome. I'm super happy that I picked him up finally from GameStop. He's been sitting there. I remember one day they had 2 of them, but now they just only had 1. So I picked up the last one there. Super happy I did, because I really wanted this Swamp Thing from the minute they reveal it, just because I want to have a Swamp Thing in my collection. And this one definitely fits that gap. Sure, he's not the classic green version, but it is probably the last Swamp Thing that McFarlane is going to give us since the line is ending. So I thought, why the hell not? And I do appreciate that he does come with extra hands, because most Mega figures nowadays don't in DC Multiverse. Like, most of them don't, like the Killer Croc one that came with the Grim Knight. And some of their earlier ones didn't come with any extra accessories as well. So yeah, this guy, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. He does have a bit of issues, I guess you could say, with like the rotator joint not moving all that much, or not wanting to move all too much. But other than that, he is really, really cool and awesome, and I'm so happy that I have a Swamp Thing in my collection. So that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube rigmarole, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.